What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Onewheel Wednesday. My name is Scott Mendenhall. We are so stoked about our podcast for you. We have so much goodness. So much goodness. I hope everyone's well. We have Nerf guns today. If you've not seen these, it's all cocked, ready to fire away here. Not alone. Always entertained with the one and only Lily Wiener.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, Lil?
So good. We were having some technical difficulties just now.
Right up to the last minute.
I like it. I like being put under pressure. Holly, how did you think that went?
You guys were fantastic.
You were helpful. You were helpful over there sipping on your iced coffee.
Iced coffee. It's getting warmer in Minnesota.
Yes, it's getting warmer here.
Yes, it is. I like how we have a logo just randomly floating on the screen at the moment. Do you see that, Lil?
I do.
It's just floating right down.
Few tech issues today. Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man down. Somebody told me my desk is looking too crowded. Lil, can you get Spider-Man for me too? Hey, if you're just logging into this channel, thanks, Lil. That's so professional. It is not broken. That was a gift for my son who's in there. He would have been. Might have cried. He might have cried. He said he would not have cried. We have a flooding mess in here. I don't know if the top shot will show it for you, but it is flooding in our studio today. The thaw is happening. It doesn't actually look like it is, but let me see if I can, without trying to get shocked here. But look, this is straight.
Oh, it's so bad.
See the water?
It's so bad.
There's so much water.
So if anyone has any suggestions, I did do a quick Google search of how to absorb water, like lots of water. There's some stuff on Amazon you can buy.
How about don't get shocked? That would be the concern for me, is like getting electrocuted with all. Okay. Hey, today we're talking about the GT and all of its issues and goods and bads and rads with it. And there's been a lot out there. We have footage of a lot of different things. So we're going to talk about that. We're giving away a lot of things today. So subscribe to this channel. This is a podcast style today. We drop content throughout the rest of the week, produced videos on Onewheels and product reviews and those things. And today we just sit down, we chat about a lot of things that are happening in the world around us, with us, all those things. So we're pretty stoked about it. If you missed last week's podcast, oh my gosh, did you miss a gem? It was so good. We had an official unboxing on the channel, but it wasn't ours. It was someone out in LA who got to.
Yeah. That was fun. Edith in LA.
It was super
GT.
Spontaneous.
Yes. It was. That might happen again. So it's good to see. We got Kayla Lily in the chat over here. I'm just seeing what's happening over here. We got Michael in the house. We got J Wolf 05, I think that is. And there's so many of you in the chat. Thank you for being in there. If you're watching somewhere else and you want to win something, you got to be in the chat, because in the chat is we pick our winners. Today we are giving away not one, but two book bags for your Onewheels.
What?
This was given to us at one pack. It's such a great concept, good bag, but we have too many of them sitting around the office, so today we're giving this away. This works for all Onewheels. Pint X, the GT, the XR, the Onewheel original, all of it. So that's what you're going for, is this cool book bag. You have a place to put your charger on it. It mounts right on the fender. We did a review a while ago. Lily's got one over there. Lily taking a sip of her. Thank you. What if that's what you look like? It was like on your face. That's
People want to know what happened to your face. To your face.
What happened to it? Who's saying it? Oh, I see Rick. What happened to your face, beard, mustache? Gone, just like that. Okay, so I know you didn't log in here to hear about my beard stuff or the weather here, but in Minnesota, the thaw is rapidly happening and it's warming up, and I run a lot. And when I run, I didn't want to have like a tan on my forehead and eyes and then this white spot, because inevitably I'm going to shave it off as it continues to warm up. So I was just like, it's gone. It's out. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. So, what do you think of the no-shaved face?
I'm a fan of both no-shave and shaved. You said the no-shaved, but you are shaved.
I mean, yeah, the shave. Well, yeah.
I'm a fan of both. You look great.
Yeah, one of my kids said I look so much younger.
Like 20 years younger. I don't know if I'd go that
Come
far.
On, so why would I
20
keep
years
a beard?
is steep.
Steep.
That would get you closer to my age.
Yeah. Here's the deal. When somebody asked the other day how old Lily was, and I said she was 46 years old, and they believed me. They're like, oh, well, I didn't know she was that old.
No, they were like, I didn't know she was that old.
Yeah.
But I'm not that old.
You're not
you are.
close to that old.
That's a 20-year difference.
Yeah.
I was just doing the math, and yeah, that's 20 years would actually be closer to your age.
Yes.
Wait.
It's true.
Wow, baby, we're old.
Thomas Miller said, I missed last week's broadcast because I'm normally asleep during the day.
Must work at night.
Yeah, do you work at night, Thomas Miller? What do you do?
What do you do, Thomas Miller?
Why are you a vampire?
He could be a truck driver. He could be a night shift nurse.
I like the
Could be a lot
narrative
of
of
things.
vampire. I think, and he sleeps as a bat upside down. That's where I'm going with until he says
Lee
otherwise.
Weber says, from a mountain man to a surfer dude.
Yep, that is about right.
Yeah, shifted drastically as this. Okay. So we have so much to cover, and we again, if you're brand new around here, we have a GT coming. The update on my GT saga, and maybe some of you can relate. Every day it gets pushed back another day. I mean, it was slated at the beginning to be at the end of January. Then it was the beginning of February. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get it before my birthday. Then it was slated to be here on my birthday, which was February 25th. And then it was March 5th, and then 10th, and now it just is added every day, another day. I think we're going to get to April, and then it'll say April 1st and won't change, and then it'll be April Fools. It's not shipping. So I don't know how everybody else is doing out there with your GT things, but a lot of people have GTs. I don't know the percentage. A lot of people want to know how many are shipped and how many of them are having said issues. Lily, have you been following the saga, the journey?
I have.
With the GT.
I
What's your
have.
vibe on it? What do you feel about it?
It's discouraging.
Why? Why do you find it
And
discouraging?
it's like, how did a product that was deemed to be this, like, the end of the saga, the best ever product is, like, not showing up and showing off?
Okay, so
You know?
somebody's asking what was our shipping date? It's going later. Okay, it's moving towards April, not closer. Somebody just wrote in there. Mine went from Friday to Saturday. That's mine. Yeah, it was supposed to be shipped like here next week, the beginning of the week. Now it's the end of the week. I really, just to keep myself from going into some kind of depression or something, I have just simply said it'll be here in April sometime. That's really where I have gotten. So we'll see. Some people say, Scott, when did you order yours? I don't remember the date. It might have been. I had COVID when it took place,
I
so
could probably figure it
somewhere
out.
3 days after the initial release. So it was probably. It was. I don't know. So,
Hector has a good point. He's still waiting on his GT, but he's kind of hoping it gets delayed so that they get all the kinks out of it.
Okay,
That's
so
kind of a thought.
And who was saying
Yeah,
that?
I like
Hector.
that.
Hector. All right, Hector brings up a good point. Let's get to some of them. One is, so there's a video out there of it ghosting, the GT ghosting. Now, I don't know if ghosting. I've never had a device of mine do the ghosting, but Lily and I, when there was a season ago around Halloween that Lily and I made fun of ghosting. Do you remember
We
that?
did,
Lo?
yes.
Remember the video we created for it?
I do.
Okay, so we created a Halloween special for ghosting because we were like, is this real? Is ghosting a thing? And this is what we think ghosting is. We'll just roll some footage here. We'll talk over it for you. This was our ghosting episode. It's a little smashed there for you, but you can kind of see Lily holding it, and she's in a green suit. And
I like the stash.
yeah, that was Scott with long hair with a mustache. I go through it all. But the ghosting was, we made it like it had its own attitude to it. Let's just hit play again. So in case everybody missed the ghosting, hit the video one more time and they'll get to see it. See how it's just floating in the air?
Yikes.
That's pretty
How
awesome,
did we
actually.
do that?
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't remember this at all. No, I'm just kidding.
You're full of it. Lily's in the
You're
green
so
suit
I do
there.
remember that.
Okay, thank you for rolling that. So sorry about the compressed footage and all of our technology problems. We forgot to stretch some of the videos back out. So maybe Lily will jump over there and stretch them out. Can you do that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Stretch them out?
Yeah, get them to be the right proportion
Oh, sure,
inside
I can-
the
sure,
app.
I can do
Okay,
that.
Lily's okay.
Now
So
she's tracking.
ghosting is what, Holly? Do you know what ghosting is?
Like when the board goes on its own.
The board goes on its own. It's not floating in things that we just created there. It genuinely is. Ghosting is where it takes off.
No
on
one's
its
riding
own.
it. It's just
No one's right. And so this is what's happened over the recent days with the GT. Is that it's been said that when a hard stop is done, where you slam the back end down and you stop, it keeps going. Like it almost doesn't recognize that you got off of it or whatever it was. So we have footage of it. Here is who is it? It's the Flow Carve Rides YouTube channel. They posted this the other day, and watch this. Slams it down, and then it just boom,
Whoa.
takes off backwards. No one riding. You got like a 27-pound missile, in a sense, going because ghosting continues until it stops or flips over on the side.
Or gets stopped by something.
Right. So you can see how far away this has gone. Could you imagine if there were
crazy.
children running around? It would be quite a deal. And so I want you to see the whole footage. It's not very long. One, that is not Minnesota because they have
We ain't got
flowers on
those
their trees.
Trees up yet.
And it's looking beautiful. But this is, and you go give some float carve ride on their YouTube channel.
It went forever. He's still walking.
Still
to it.
walking. I mean, no, you can, if you listen to the commentary on it, not thrilled at all. But there it is in the flower bed. They grab it and it stopped ghosting. So that is footage right there. Thank you for showing that. That is the footage of ghosting in real life right there. It's a bit scary. I mean, could you imagine, Holly, if that happened out here where we have 8 of our children and it just takes off, right?
Well, I mean, it could run in. I mean, it could go into the road, could hit somebody. Those are not. I've walked into a Onewheel before, and if it hurts, if it's coming at me, ouch.
Yeah. No, again, we're going to point out a lot of these things that are online, but I do want you to know that we understand. And what we're going to do, we show you that. Now, we're going to go way down. I don't know if I put it in here. I must not have put the screenshot in it. I forgot to load it up. But Onewheel has responded to these questions and people saying things in their Instagram feeds where they're like, we are aware of some of these issues. We are taking care of them ASAP. So we're not riding some wave here that Future Motion is in danger or they suck or any of those things. We're not worried about those things with Future Motion. We know they're going to stand by their product and take care of it and fix it. So we're not jumping on some bandwagon that Onewheel's got problems. It's a new product. There's always bugs in a brand new product. I mean, there just is. And so I'm not worried nor concerned. Let's just get it out there and talk about it here, okay? So I can see some of you guys talking about the foot pads could be some of the issue because they're all brand new foot pads. I don't know. Another one, this is from that Ginter EV. Well done video, his first ride and stuff. Towards the end, he gets on there and he explains how he's noticing an issue where it won't turn on properly. I think we have that footage as well, just part of the end of his video here, if we can click it. So this is him. He's trying to get it to work. And so what he's just relaying is he's got to plug it in, unplug it, turn it on. He can't just... he writes it won't power on consistently. And then he will plug it in, and sometimes it won't charge consistently either. Okay? And then what he does is he decides to send it back to Future Motion. It's gone back. And so there is just again, we just bumped into his video, and he's just having problems turning it on and off. But the thing I love about it is Onewheel is like getting these boards shipped out fast and back to these riders ASAP. So I think it's great. I see Thomas Miller says someone on YouTube video stated that the GT was destroyed when it ghosted its way into traffic and hit by a car.
A car ran over it?
Yikes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So again, I don't have footage of that. No, again, we're trying to, and Thomas Miller, if you have a link or something, would you DM that to us and we'll go look at it and put it in next week's episode? Because what we don't want to do is hearsay. There are a lot of people out there, Lil, that just wants to hate on Onewheel.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew earlier said that he got his and it runs great.
Thank
He's had
you.
no issues.
That's
The
awesome.
last of his comment, he's thinking that there's not enough people giving the positive feedback out there. It's only the negative. So you're not getting a good enough ratio of who.
I agree with that.
So if you've got a Onewheel GT and it's running great, post some stuff so everybody can enjoy it.
I mean, we are on, come on. Let's just all for a moment. I mean, all breaking news that we go and run to watch and listen to it is always negative. It's never about a cat rescued out of a tree. It's never like the highlight series of the day. It's always negative, doom and gloom. So desperate for it's just life-sucking. Breaking news is breaking all of us, and so I just think we tend to post these things to especially because we're driven by clicks. So we post these things about to get views and to get notoriety and stuff. And man, we stand by Onewheel in all of this. I'm not saying ghosting hasn't happened, and I'm not saying that Ginter EV didn't have the problem he had. I get it; those are real things. But come on, there's been a lot of reviews out there that people are at a time of their life with it. Now, do we know the percentage of how many shipped and how many this? No, we don't. Probably some of the more notable issues that probably a lot of people have seen would be Float Life and their board breaking. Bodhi posted the other day on Instagram where he had broken the board. We got a clip of that. Check this out right here. This
That's
is
because
Bodhi.
Bodhi's crazy.
Bodhi is talking about just how frustrated he is. I think you can kind of hear it a little bit underneath this there.
I broke it already.
And then the ride of shame right there. Like, you know that. Like, thank you for playing it.
I love the nails. I love it.
The nails are great.
It's
And then I
such a
love the
vibe.
bike. A random, bike that you got to rent, put your debit card in, and then you're going home with it. It's like the Onewheel shame of, it's just, and Bodhi was taking it on his own there, right? He's like, I broke it. I did a trick. And then I think 24 hours later, probably Jeff and him got into it and figured out that there was a bigger issue. And that was, here's Bodhi again, 24 hours later, giving an update on the board.
On our broken GT. It's not really broken. It came with a broken lock ring on the motor plug, and it just slipped off from a trick. So I kind of broke it, but we're getting it dialed.
Okay, he lets us all know that Onewheel's going to take care of it. It's a sensor that maybe possibly did break while he was doing the tricks. No one will ever know. So it's getting fixed. And then you had Floaty McFly on Instagram posted his first initial ride. The dude was stoked. Like, he was loving it, right? Onewheel even posted his post on their channel on Saturday night, I believe. And then by Sunday, his Onewheel is not turning on either, which we have that footage from his Instagram account.
Look, it's a GT.
Floaty is
Let's try to turn it on.
won Race for the Rails a couple years ago.
Oh, that doesn't do anything.
I believe we have sound
Let's
for
try
this
to
one as well.
give it some power. Oh, look at that. It's turning red. But nothing. And still no power on. Back in the box.
And it's going back in the
That
box.
is so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it is a
I
little bit.
would be, after waiting all that time, and then to have to send it back.
And get a first ride and think you
I
got
would
it.
just be devastated, honestly.
But I gotta say, man, I think Onewheel's doing such a spectacular job to it. I don't think they need to put out a newsletter and tell everybody. They're taking it at one customer at a time, one rider at a time, going, hey, we'll take care of your board and we'll get it back to you ASAP. They're in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think Onewheel's customer service is great. I know other people have had some rough experiences and stuff. We do have to give a lot of grace to a lot of people in these things because, my gosh, they're not just calling about the GT right now. They're calling about XRs and pint X's and all these different things. So they got a lot of things they got to try to fix. I've seen people that have torn their GT all the way apart down to what's inside the hub and stuff. Those people break it, and what are they going to do? Call Onewheel? And Onewheel's got to decide, well, did they void the warranty? So I don't think it's easy to be in any customer relations part of a company because you've got to decipher, is this person taking advantage of our company or is this person truthful? I just think I have a lot of grace when I call like Best Buy or I call a Jeep dealership about my Jeep. I just have a lot of patience because I get it. They're trying to do their homework on, is this a valid reason to have you come in? And then I think Onewheel has already stated that they are going to fix all of those things. And so I would be bummed. Some of the delays for me, I'm like, maybe there are real genuine issues and they'll be fixed by the time the other ones ship. I don't think anyone should be canceling their order. I've seen people on the Instagram feed, I'm canceling the order as like a threat or something. Do you think it's a bummer for you because you're going to miss out on the GT? I just don't think it's time to run for the hills. What else are you going to, what are you going to go? What are you going to go get? If it's not the GT and you are a one-wheeler, where are you going?
That was one of my thoughts. Like, it's a whole new beast. I think everybody would agree that when they did the announcement of him, like how excited were you when you heard about it? It's totally different. So I kind of feel like this is to be expected. They gotta get it out there, get the bugs out of there.
Yeah.
And I think I agree. I think they're always good about fixing it.
So don't panic. Don't panic about your GT. It's going to be all right, okay? All right, so I think we covered a lot. If you have a GT, man, we would love to hear what you're stoked about and what you're loving about it, because I think there's there's tons of great stuff out there that I've just watched on Instagram and stuff, and people are stoked. It gets me stoked. And then, what do we out of like the hundreds of videos I've watched on people getting GTs, I have 4 out of hundreds being delivered that I know of. So I'm not freaking out. I don't think you should. If you're just tuning in, man, welcome to our One Wheel podcast. Happy One Wheel Wednesday. Subscribe to this channel. We do all things One Wheels. We race them. We drop product reviews. We hopefully encourage you, inspire you to laugh and relax and all of those things. I'm never alone. We call this Scot, Mendenhall and Friends because I don't do life alone. We have the one and only, the slowest person I know on a one wheel to my left is
really.
Lily Wiener. Who is fast?
Still an award.
Are you saying I would go faster than her?
Yeah, that's what he's saying,
No.
Holly.
What?
Let me properly introduce. That is my wife in camouflage over there. We've been married for almost 21 years. We have 8 children together. She has rode almost 5 minutes on a one wheel.
No, she has
and
done
so
more
I
than
would
that.
not. She's not in the equation yet of like. She's not got past the snail speed on a one wheel. So no, she is not. She might one day take your spot as slowest. But Lily, who would you say right now in our friends group is slower than you?
No one.
So you're the slowest.
Yes.
Like, is Kaylee slower than you?
Actually, maybe a little bit.
Is Abijah slower than you?
No.
Okay. Is
We have a
Ryan
lot of
slower
friends
than
that
you?
ride- No.
Is Jordan slower than you?
No.
Is Icon slower than you?
Probably not.
Is Epic slower than you?
No.
Okay, see, I could keep
I'm
going
pretty
down.
slow.
You are slow.
But
Poor
I'm a
Lily.
cruiser. I cruise.
You're a cruiser. That's
I'm
a
a cruiser.
really good.
Thank you.
Somebody goes.
That's a good term.
Somebody
for her.
goes. Poor Lily. Don't do that.
Yeah,
to
poor
Lily.
me.
Okay, since we're on poor Lily, we got a great game. It's a fun game. It's one we like to pop in and play just for fun. Okay, is Lily sitting or standing currently when you get a look
love
at her?
this game.
Okay, I think we even have a slide now
Do we
that
have a
says
slide? Do we have a
we're
slide?
making this a legitimate game. Is Lily sitting or standing?
I don't know if we have a slide.
I thought I dropped it in there, but maybe I didn't.
Okay. Going back to Scott so I can decide if I want to sit or stand.
Oh, you're
So-
okay. She's gonna
Okay.
decide
Hey.
what she's doing. She's moving around. She's making all kinds of noise. She's rustling around. Here's the deal. You're gonna decide if she's sitting or standing, and then what we're gonna do is you're going to put your guess in the chat of what you think she is doing when you see her in a second. And the first one to do that, we're going to give you something special. All right, let's go back to Lily. Is she sitting or standing? Sitting or standing with a big old smile on her face. She's ready for.
Guess we don't know.
What's tomorrow? Why you got?
Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day.
And that's why you got the green on today? Do you think you'll wear green tomorrow on actual St. Patty Day?
You better.
I guess so.
What do you mean? Oh, boy, life's so miserable.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yes, I plan to wear green.
We're
We
having
got lots of
people.
votes.
I think James. Oh, who said sitting first? Kayla Lily says sitting. Was she the first?
Lee says
Did you
stand.
Standing.
Weird. Sitting.
We got a lot
I
of
think Lee
sittings.
was the first.
Someone
He
says-
said she
someone
was
Okay,
says
Lily,
standing.
go. Oh wait, she's half and half. That's what somebody just said.
Ooh, half and half.
She's a quick learner.
The majority are
Sitting.
saying sitting.
But Kayla Lily holding strong with the half and half.
Blackadder, I wish I was eating.
All
And
right.
if I could choose, it would
Lily.
be chicken tendies.
Can we go to the wide shot?
Crouching.
She's not
What
going to
is
move.
she
doing?
Crouching.
Oh, you can't really tell, but she is sitting.
No, I'm not.
I mean, she's standing. Sorry.
There's my stool head.
She is sitting.
Stool head.
Standing.
See, you just can't tell.
Okay, but now here's the deal. She's still standing. Now watch. This is why we play this game. Okay, Lily, let's go back to her on the shot.
Okay, so I'm standing.
No, just get normal center
I'm
shot.
standing right here.
Standing. Now sit down. She's gonna fall. Okay, you're sitting. Now just stand up. Like they're gonna see it. Nothing switched. That's where you gotta see it. It's like her sitting and standing exactly the same. She's gonna fall. Okay. Thank you for playing the game. It's a mystery. It is a true mystery in the world of how that happens. Her height of her hips and the said stool are the exact same height.
We love it.
Okay, we got something cool we're into around here. We love Onewheels, okay? And so we are fanboys and girls, and there's part of our life, and we're just always trying to ride them all season long, in snow, out of snow. And we created a pump track during quarantine of 2020. The quarantine. The first time that we had to sit there and not talk to people. And you couldn't be within 6 feet of individuals. And it was a scary time in the world.
Can you even believe that there was a time where I didn't come around?
Yeah, she came around and
That's crazy.
it was
to even think
a
about.
wild time in our lives. So I didn't know what to do with myself. So I started tearing down trees and making my own lumber. And then we made a berm and a pump track. But the pump track, well, it wasn't very good. It was okay for kids. Here's the footage of that pump track. You'll see with the attempt here. Okay, that's the pump track that we made. That was early on COVID. Can't be around people. We just one-wheeled in our front yard. These are my kids.
One-wheeling in pajamas.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, look, no one's around, not even a car driving. Spring was just happening. It was probably 2 years ago, I guess, about right now. This is me with my golden fender trying to get over it.
You struggled on that one.
Yeah, because I didn't make it a roller. I made it too much of a point. And so it didn't work. And I modified it a little bit. I took it back down.
That's a
and
cool thing you built. That's a cool thing.
I cut it all up again because it was working for the kids, but I really wanted to ride it. So after talking about this, now you can see it's kind of got a flat spot on
I was
top.
gonna say it's not quite as.
Just to full disclosure, it never went well. Like
All the kids could do that.
all the kids, they are just cruising over there, and I would watch them do that, and then I just come and bonk it. Like no good.
You gotta leave a little bit of
Gotta leave some room,
weight
right?
on your back foot pad.
Yeah, I've got to put it in elevate. It just wasn't what I was looking for, okay? And so now we are going to 2.10, I guess it's, or 1.2. It's our second version that we are going to...
So it's 2.0.
2.0.
Yeah.
We're going to release that this Sunday. We're going to tell you how we made it. We have a template that we made. That this time it is a legitimate roll. It looks like it looks like a wave, rolling waves. It's going to be amazing. You could ride it with your BMX bikes, but we're going to film tomorrow as we're going to finish it up today. We're going to film tomorrow a race with Nerf guns over our said roller with just Onewheels. It's going to be amazing. You know you're going to try to shoot me, aren't you?
Oh yes.
But you're not pointing at me. Should I shoot you? If
Mine's
you
not.
shoot me,
I
want to
know why I didn't get one of those
You
today.
didn't come out with it, so should
Oh.
we shoot you? These are legitimate guns, though.
They send goggles with it.
They do.
Oh.
She shot at me.
She shot first.
Look at that. They go
All
crazy.
right, you got my head on the fourth hit.
Oh, yeah, it took
Like
me a little
it
bit.
took you 4 hits to hit me.
Don't be sassy. Goodness me.
Oh, my
Okay.
gosh.
They shoot 140 feet per second. They're little BBs. They're amazing. I don't know what Nerf was doing when my daughter's on the switcher and she's like, keep cutting my head off. I'm standing if you didn't know. See the difference? If I sit, the game doesn't work for me. If I stand,
No,
you get it. It cuts my face off. Go to the other shot icon so they get to see, right? Sitting, that looks good. Standing, not so good. I don't know what the deal is.
It's magic.
It's magic.
Hey, and Thomas earlier said that we'll call Lily Fun Size Lily.
Fun size Lily.
I'm fun size. Yay!
Okay, so we're
No, I
working
love
on
my size.
these
Thank you,
pump
guys.
tracks, which she did it again. cut my
Oh.
face off. The pump track. We're working on the pump track, filming that. We have moved from where we lived previously, where that first pump track was, and we now live where we have some land, and we are making paths with all of these technical pieces. The pump track, we have a berm that's coming. I think we have a shot of all of our trails that you get to see here. This is us building the first berm. And so we're trying to teach the kids 2020 style right here of like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to cut it, and we're going to just put, I mean, there it is in its full glory. We nailed this one. I can't wait to have another one of these
Yeah,
berms.
that one was fun.
Oh, man, you could go flying across these things.
I did it one time.
Yes, she did it
That's
once.
awesome. So you've
That's
been,
part of her 5 minutes of
this
writing.
girl's seasoned.
Would you?
That was the only part that was a little sketchy for us, was where the points hit. And then, man, we just mobbed that thing. So we're going to put that in the trails that we have a picture of. Can we get the aerial shot of our trails up really quick? There it is. You see all the red lines? That's where our trails
Oh,
are.
what a dream.
The blue is not
fun.
ours. The
That's
red
awesome.
is our trail system, where we are going to hold the last one-wheeler standing. And so it's going to be who can ride these trails without falling the longest wins the jackpot. And so we're looking for riders. We know we got some people interested from Michigan. I think
But will it look like that when we do last one?
no, the thaw's happening, so it's going to look
okay. So
amazing.
it's going to be like a real trail.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're stoked on that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get to see how the berm turns out and how all the making of the different technical pieces of Onewheel rideables that we're going to make, because we really want those in our trail system. And so we're stoked on it to create our very own trail system that we get to ride it any way we want. And so we're really stoked on that. Speaking of let's go back to GT for a second. Craft and Ride and Float Life already have products for the GT. That didn't take them very long, Lil.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. We got ours.
Well,
Yeah,
no, but from Onewheel. This is Float Life. I'm sitting back down. This is Float Life dropping their stuff.
Oh, right. No, that didn't take long.
No, by last Thursday, I think they announced what they were dropping.
Yeah, and last Wednesday during the podcast, we were wondering if other places would be making accessories. And a day later,
Boom.
they dropped
They
them.
dropped it. Holly, what do you think Craft and Ride is their first thing that they're making? What would your guess be?
I thought I saw a bag.
Bag. Okay,
Right?
They do have bags, and they were just simply saying, hey, the bags fit for the GT, so that's not a new thing.
Oh, it
Okay.
wasn't new specific to the GT.
Right, so inside
Ooh.
this game we're playing, you just
I
lost.
failed.
Yeah, Lily, what do you...
Where's the
what do you-
buzzers? Bang.
What are you going... Yeah, sorry.
I'm about to Google it.
No, you can't Google it. What is Craft and Ride's first product they're dropping? What do you think? I need an answer.
Can I answer
Grip
again?
tape.
No, that's... I mean,
What?
because the grip tape doesn't... It's not
Give
new.
me. Is it going to be something completely
like
new,
new?
that Onewheel doesn't offer, or is it going to
No.
be like different rail guards?
Ooh, ding, 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 ding.
I thought so, rail guards. Because when I saw the picture the other day, they had the
Oh,
bag
wow, they
and
have
then
pretty
rail guards.
colors.
Okay, so we have a picture. This is Craft and Ride. They just released today or yesterday. They have new rail guards for the GT pre-order. So you can get those with the palm trees on it. You can get it with enjoy the ride. I mean, you have a mass selection there, which is pretty rare that they're already dropping with pre-orders. So you can already personalize
Those are fun.
your GT. What?
Those are fun.
Yeah. They do really well in being able to put out customizable things for your GT. So well done on Craft and Ride. And then Float Life, they came out with float plates for the GT already, which is really impressive. And so here's their email that they dropped last Thursday, that this is the float plates for you guys to check out. I think we have it. It's right below or right above the Craft and Ride image. I'm talking to those that are on the computer. Maybe I didn't get it in there. But the Float Life float plates are pretty cool looking and worth check out on their website. We must not have the image for you guys to see, so sorry about that. But those companies are already after it. So I'm stoked on those guys getting after it right now. So if you're looking to do a little bit more...
If you're depressed because your GT's not in yet, just go shopping and get some new accessories. Although one thing I like about the Onewheels rail guards is they say the GT on it big, right? I think they like you notice him, right? Don't your new ones are yellow and black or whatever, and it says GT on it?
Yeah, they're
so
sweet.
you know it's a GT just like that.
I would.
Looks sweet.
I like the new products from Onewheel. I am a bit of a Onewheel guy when it comes to decking out my Onewheel. I like that it says Onewheel on it, and I at some point I should do a review on the 3 types of rail guards that they have out there.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because they're very, very different in my opinion, and so I think that'd be fun to speak on, as we've had all of those different rail guards on our Onewheels, and so we know the goods and the bads of all of them. And I think that Onewheel calls them rail guards, Float Life calls them
sidekicks. Maybe?
Yeah, sidekicks. Well done. Wow, she rides for 5 minutes and she knows the names of things. This is amazing. How do you do it? And
She's
make dinner
amazing.
and raise 8 children.
And make
I need an
dogs and a
idea
cat?
for dinner tonight. Does anybody have an idea?
Yeah,
You
what's
need an idea?
What
She needs
to
an
make?
idea for dinner.
Tacos.
Tacos. We had
just
those
had
like
tacos.
Saturday,
Oh.
and then we had taco bowls for like 3 days.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Good.
How about
Just chat me.
How about penne pasta with like a good sauce? Sounds good.
Okay, back to
No.
the GT rail guards
Okay,
and
back
sidekicks.
to
okay, if you're just joining in, we're gonna pick a winner at the end of this podcast. The way you win. Oh wait, maybe you want to know what you're going to win. Is you're going to win a book bag that allows you to carry your Onewheel on your back, but you
Yes.
don't have to carry this around when you're riding your Onewheel because it attaches to the fender. Lily and I did a review on this months ago around Christmas. It was one of the accessory ideas for a Christmas present. We're going to give away 2 of these today, so we're picking 2 winners out of the live chat. And so if you're watching live, well done. You get a chance to win these things. We will mail them to you. Those that have not subscribed to this channel yet, man, come on, what you waiting for? Let's get you subscribed so you don't miss anything. Turn on the bell notification because you'll love what or you just won't miss anything. And most of the time when you hit the bell notification, it turns colors. That's pretty cool. And then drop a comment down below. What are you hearing about the GT right now? The goods and the bads. We don't want all the bads because that's what we gravitate first and foremost. So let's hear some of that. And then what other ramp ideas let's put up the trail pick one more time. As you look at our trails that we have, and I know you don't get the contours of and what's downhill. A lot of it's downhill, but what should we put in there as features? And so there's no way for me to really point out where the features that we're building right now, where the pump track's going to go and stuff. I can see it. I should have made those a different color. But the pump tracks are going to go in the middle of that. We're going to do a big old berm that's going to drop us. I mean, it's going to be a gnarly berm. And so we would love ideas that you're like, oh, you should do this. You should do drops. And so we would love some of your ideas as you look at that going, what should we add? And so we'd love to hear your thoughts on it as we dream up the trails. Last year we cut all the trails. Took a year to cut all the trails. Now we're going to build the trail to be gnarly. Lily, on 10 being expert and 1 being novice, how would you rank the trails out there?
Oh, 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
At one point, was it higher?
I would say maybe like a 6.5, 7.
Is that because you've done more trail riding, so you've gotten a little better?
I think the hardest trail riding for Onewheel are single track mountain bike trails, and those are not to be messed with unless you're confident in your abilities. These aren't single track trails, but they are rocky. These trails are difficult to ride. So it's definitely a high level of difficulty for sure. But what do you think?
I think at one point it was a 7, but now I think that it's maybe a 5. I'll go 5. But
Why would it be better or easier?
Because we got a lot of the roots out of there. We have made it flow a lot better.
Okay.
I think we're going to continue to do that over the next few weeks as the thaws happens, as we bring in some gravel and stuff to smooth out some of the slopes that were leaning like this, and you cut a trail in there. Well, that trail still slopes, so we're going to level it out. Those things will make it much clearer. But like I was talking earlier, that's when we're going to do the last Onewheeler standing, and we're stoked on this thing.
Yes.
We're going to film right before Easter and then air it on Easter morning on our channel, so it should be pretty sweet.
You're getting some good ideas. A couple wood berm ideas for this. Maybe a small gap to jump. And would you please add squirrels to throw nuts at you?
Yes. Where do you think we get the ideas? Is when we ride through there, the squirrels, literally, we have red-tailed squirrels, and red-tailed squirrels only eat pine cones. And so they're in the pine trees. And when they're trying to eat their pine cones, they drop them on our head. Where do you think the squirrel idea came from? Was our very own trails.
Add in some tires, cones, dips in the track, obstacles.
Ooh, I'd like to hear more on that. Add tires. Is that all in one comment?
Add in some tires, cones, dips in the track, and obstacles. All from Nestle Crunch.
So what would I do with the tires, though? Like, what am I adding tires in for? I would like to
That you
hear.
have to like go around or something.
Like, yeah, like, is this a carving situation or? Because I'd like to know what you're thinking.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that
it
a
sounds
section
awesome.
you have to carve around.
Somebody just goes, can you imagine how much food it takes to feed Scott's family? I'm baffled by that idea. You know what? We fish, we hunt, and we pick up dead things on the road.
But that grocery bill for real.
Yeah,
for real.
like for real. It is like it's an interesting
And they
time
only
to
get
have 8
bigger
children.
and eat more.
Yeah. Does anybody have a slow down button on children? You know where they're on their butts, just slow them down from growing? No, just joking. But we're about to get a garden going. We're gonna get some chickens.
Yay.
So we can have some of their eggs and stuff. It's going to be a fun time around
Yep.
here. Not a dull moment, that's for sure, as we all ride Onewheels. And so we have a next week we'll talk about a coming of age story for one of our children who is going to be entering into the one-wheel world because they are now of age to ride.
Oh,
Come on.
You mean like a little one?
Yeah, a little one
Yeah.
whose birthday's in June.
That's
Don't
exciting.
tell him if he's watching.
Don't tell him. But when his birthday's in June, which happens to be what, Lily?
June 16th.
Because how do you know that?
My birthday.
Okay, so they're birthday buddies, and so
Hey.
he's going to be blown away. We're going to present him with one of my pints, that because now I have a pint X. I don't really need both, so boom. Don't tell him, though. It's our secret between you and me. And the kids that are in here. Shh, don't tell him, or we won't feed you for a week. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Somebody also said back for the trails to like roll the tires behind the riders, like Indiana Jones style. Like
so-
so you have to outrace them.
That's a brilliant idea for an
You guys
actual
are
race
good.
video. Oh, man, you
that
guys are
that
geniuses.
is a really good idea. Watch
Thank
for that
you
one.
for that one. Now, some of these things we're going to have to, we as it thaws, it's now just water everywhere because the ground hasn't thawed quite yet. So we've got a couple more weeks of this. But, man, we're going to do some of these things. We're pretty stoked on it. And the last thing we have sitting here, this is somebody's book bag, so I don't want to trash it, is a brand new tire from Flight Fin. This is Hoosiers created with Flight Fin. On the side is their logo. I like it when I see the logos of one-wheel brands because I know that one wheel is built specifically for, is that right?
Specifically.
What?
Not the Pacific is the ocean.
Thank you.
Specifically is a certain brand.
Yeah, what Holly said. So we're going to slap this on this week, give you a produced video of this. This is the Hoosier Wide. And so when it says wide, it doesn't mean this width of this, like the top of it. It's the from the rim to the top of the tire. It stands taller. My guess is it's going to ride very similar to, whoops, I hit the wrong button. But it's going to ride very similar to the Burris collab with Float Life. That's my thinking on it, but with a little bit of hints of the Whisper in it. That's my first guess before I even slap it on. It's just from me feeling around on it and the height of it because I believe that was the same dimensions of the Burris collab with Float Life as well. So I'm stoked to get this on. We're going to put it on a pint X. We could put it on the Growler, but man, do I like that Whisper right now on the Growler. Lil, what's your thoughts on the Growler?
I love it. I think it was very, very creatively crafted. Creatively created.
Yeah.
I just like the ride. If you haven't seen our video yet of the Growler and we raced it, we did a lot of things. It was fun.
So we have some
I like
footage
it.
of the Growler here, so you get to see it. Like when if you don't know what the Growler is, we explained it in the latest video. There it is sitting next to an XR. It's taking all of the components of an XR, smashing them into an inch shorter rails. So it's the length of it is less, but the width of the foot pads are the same. And then it just feels right with a pint tire on it. It just carves beautifully. The range was phenomenal. It was a version 2. It wasn't an XR. It really had updated our version 2 where we wanted to ride it a lot more because it has a little bit more pep to it. It has a little bit more torque because the whole thing's a little bit lighter. And so the whole review is sitting on our channel if you want to go watch it after this. It is amazing ride, like so enjoyable. I had no idea when we raced it that it would do so well. I really thought the pints would be very comparable with it. And the pints hung in there for a little bit, but it just, I mean, the biggest thing I saw in it was that the pushback, I guess I would say there's the pushback on a version 2 Onewheel or even an XR is less than a pushback on a pint. So you can push through the pint a little bit easier. And so I really like the Growler. If you're on the fence of doing a Growler kit, you can go to Float Life and pick up the rail guards. You then can go get a pint tire, put it all together. It's really simple to do. Highly recommend it to anyone that, if you have an XR and I would do it. If I only had an XR, I would do it to my XR. And the only reason I didn't do it to the XR is because I wanted to update the V2 around here so it would be a little bit more enjoyable. More range would be gained from it, and that's exactly what happened. And so I can't say enough good about it. My only complaint was in the video was I didn't do it sooner. We've sat on those those rails for about a year, and I haven't done anything with them. And then it was like, why am I doing anything with these? I should. And so we built it. The video is hilarious when we race it against pints and stuff, but we are not going to put this tire on the Growler. We will save that for the Pint X, as we have right now a treaded tire on there. We'll go to a slick and see how that rides. If I lose torque on the X, the Pint X, it's coming off. I love the torquiness of the Pint X. So the last thing we want to cover, I mean, we got so many other things we want to cover, I think, but the last thing we want to cover, we want to go back to a video that happened right after we were live, I believe last Wednesday. Onewheel went live on Instagram.
Yes.
And we put it on the computers and we just listened to it the rest of the afternoon, and it was very enjoyable, very insightful. And Jack sat down and answered tons of questions. And so he began to talk about the GT and its pushback, because it has some. A couple weeks ago, we posted something about GT and its pushback. Lil, remember that? And people got upset because they said we never talked about the GT and its pushback.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we answered the question, does it have pushback? Yes, and then we broke down pushback. It was like, you got to nonetheless. This time, we're going to let Jack talk a little bit about pushback. We'll give a little clarity to it here so you understand what he's actually saying, because what he said was pretty, insightful, and we're going to learn a lot on it. So here is Jack on Instagram Live last week on Onewheel's Instagram channel, so that you can hear what he said. They went live for almost an hour, and they said so much, and I'll give you some of my other thoughts on it. I believe we got the footage. Let's roll it. Here's Jack and Ted filming.
XR isn't as
I believe we have sound as well.
GT is more powerful than XR. So when the board is giving you pushback on an XR, it's a little bit easier for the rider to push through that that warning, and to really just milk a couple extra miles per hour out of the board. Now, the best riders in the world can do that successfully, and obviously they do that in sort of like the races that we throw and whatnot. But for the vast majority of people, I mean, it's quite honestly, it's really dangerous, and it's not something that we recommend. And so on GT, the board is just more powerful, it has more strength. It's more difficult for riders to do that.
I love how he explains the pushback. Lily and Holly can't hear it in the studio. We are remedying that. And then we're going to be able to, what our hopes are to do is to get some of you guys that are becoming regulars in the chat and hook you up on FaceTime or a Zoom call and just chat with you in it on your experience on Onewheels. So we're really excited that we'll be able to hear the videos and people. But Jack was saying there, ladies, was that the GT has pushback just like everybody else, like all the other devices.
Right.
The Pint has hard pushback. The GT has similar pushback to it. And the XR had pushback, but the battery didn't. Well, the XR isn't a very strong motor in it, so it was easy to push back through or push through it. Like a lot of people talk about the V2 that I was talking about, like it was so easy to ride through pushback, which was super dangerous because the battery couldn't push you back enough. There wasn't enough juice to keep pushing back. But the GT has so much power in it that it's hard to push through the pushback because it's fighting you. And so it's this warning system, if you don't know, that keeps you from riding potentially into danger zone where you could crash. When I watched that last week, so many people became very nasty to Onewheel and Jack talking about how are you going to limit the speed? We should be able to say how fast we can ride and all. It was really overwhelming on how unkind people were in the comments of it, just saying we wish we could ride as fast as we could. And I loved where Jack said, hey, listen, not everybody can race these things as fast as they can. If you put Holly, my lovely wife, on a one wheel that can do 30 miles an hour and she gets up to 25, what's she going to do?
I do not need to. I cannot outrun that.
No.
That would be, I just can't even think
And
about
I
that.
can't afford to be broken either.
Right, yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, I don't know. Like, I love pushing things, but going 30 miles an hour on a one wheel, like, just, I'd have to be suited up properly for that, I think, because...
I don't think I would even enjoy it.
No, yeah, there would just be, it'd
You'd
be one
just
of
be
those things...
tense.
No, I wouldn't like it.
It'd be one of those things that it was just one and done. Like, you did it and it's over. Like, I when we lived in Florida for 8 years, my only mode of transportation was a Buell motorcycle from Harley, and it's a muscly sports motorcycle in a sense. You look them up; they're awesome bikes. It wasn't for me how fast I could go. It was how fast could I go between green light to green light. I want to hit 65 fast. And I wanted power in third gear still. So on my motorcycle in third gear, I could hit the gas and it would pop me up in a wheelie without any effort. When I was hearing Jack talk, that's what I'm hearing in my head, is that at speeds, you still have so much power in this thing, whereas the XRs and the V2s and the pint, at speeds, they lose the power to fight back the pushback from you pushing through it, and so you inevitably push through it, whereas the GT is going to fight you back. It's going to push back on you as much as you try to push through it. They did allude to, and I had heard rumors of this, he did allude to in that they are going to release, potentially for Race for the Rails, a racing upgrade for the app that you can unlock it in a certain way. Lily, would you download that if it was offered for you?
Yes.
The racing side. This means it goes faster.
I mean, I would. Doesn't mean I would use it all the time. Holly gave me the funniest look. She's like, would you really?
I don't think she would.
Yeah, I don't either. How about
But
you?
I
Mom?
think those
I
guys
download
that
it, though.
do Race for the Rails, I mean, like, they're out there to push the limits of this particular sport,
right.
if you will. They're out to do that. So I think that's great for them. But the average person, I'd say that's dangerous if they didn't
I
have
agree
pushback.
with that. As you saw Lily's head walk through the camera because the camera shut off, so Lily's going to fix it. Lily,
She just does all things, so she's really great about it.
I got to keep the voice going, or you just have a black screen, right? And so it's pretty fun. And then she did it again as the camera's on Holly. I was just messing.
She
Oh,
really
Lily.
can. She does a lot around here, so there's a lot of moving parts that and Scott
I didn't
keeps
realize
it going.
it was on your face. I was confused.
I was the one talking, so
I know. I was.
but my
it
camera
a lot.
was shut off. Oh, all tech issues. It's all good.
Yes. Okay, so the last thing is, and we've already alluded to this, we want to invite anyone that would potentially want to mail your one wheel out here and come do the last one wheeler standing. What's the date for that, Lily? We're going to do? We said April what?
I think we're going with April 14th.
April 14th. It's a Saturday.
Let me just clarify that.
I'm going to give you some.
No.
Okay, Lily.
April 16th.
Okay, we're going to let you guys help us really quick on last one wheeler standing. You're going to help us with some of the rules to create this thing, okay?
No, that's wrong. April 9th. I'm sorry, guys.
April 9th. Lily, come on.
Final. April 9th.
All right, Holly and Lily, and then those that are online, you got to help us with the last one wheeler standing, a bit of the rules, if you will. Okay, so let
Okay.
me read. The overview is this, and see if it makes sense to you, because it's not just a last one wheeler, you just ride until you die kind of deal. This is how it works. The overview. This test will start with the clock when the clocks hit the number 12 on the hour, meaning it could be 9 o'clock. When that second hand hits 12, it starts.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, at this point, each rider will have 1 hour to complete the task without falling off or interrupting or interpreting the rules in any other way than stated. This is not a test of finding loopholes in the rules. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Once the rider
exciting.
arrives back at the charging area without falling off or stepping off the board, they have the remaining time to charge their one wheels, eat, use the restroom. So if you can do said objective in a half hour, you have a half hour to charge your one wheel back up. But If you're like, I'm going to ride conservative this round because I have a lot of battery,
You would have less time.
you would have less time to charge, eat, and go to the bathroom, because on the hour, when the second hand hits the 12, the second part of the race begins. And then you must begin. You can't stagger start. If you're not moving at that start, you're disqualified. We will imagine that you are quitting. You didn't finish the first round right. The winner is the person that is the last one standing at the end. That means they rode each part of this test the way that it was designed and outlasted everyone else. Make
Right.
sense? Is
Yes.
that clear?
It's clear.
No, you're like, okay.
It makes sense to me, but I've also heard this a few
Well,
times.
let's see what people say in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, then here are questions Q&A. No hyperchargers will be allowed, only
Ooh.
only the normal
Standard.
Wow.
standard charger.
Okay.
No
Fair.
pushing other riders off or impeding other riders' rides.
Love that.
All Onewheels with stock batteries are welcomed. So you can't have any other battery. It can be a GT, but it's got to be a stock battery. Riders will be riding on the streets, dirt roads, trails, and grass. The test of one-wheel skills will be filmed. Treaded tires and slicks are welcome. When on streets, all street laws apply. While riding the set course, if your feet or foot come off, you're out. Are we leaving anything out outside of what those each tests will be?
I'm
What do you
sure we
think?
might have left something out, but what you stated is very clear. Like, we might have left something out that we might create later on,
Yeah.
you know. But I think that's great for the, like, overview of the last one-wheeler standing. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think so. And then the winner gets money. I just was seeing
What?
somebody saying no limits to ride electrics. I don't understand why you in the U.S. are complaining about not receiving your GTs. We in Europe only started to receive GTs maybe in June or July. Perspective, because I have thoughts to say, but that would only offend probably, and I'm not looking to offend. But yeah, we should be a little bit patient. Okay. I don't read anything for anybody else to say, hey, I think you should do this or that. So they must like the ideas.
Yeah.
We're looking for it to be a collaborative thing with all of you here.
Yeah, I think what we can do is clip that part out. And if you're interested in participating in the last one-wheeler standing event taking place on April 9th here in Minnesota, you can go to that clip, see the overview, figure out in the description, it'll say how to sign up. And hopefully we get to meet you and we can compete together.
Yeah. And if you're local and you've been like, I'm going, like, you better be watching our YouTube channels, because we just told you what the parameters are. We're not going to restate this. This is where they lie on this podcast. Next week, we will give the final rules and regulations of the last one-wheeler standing. So I hope you're watching and subscribe to the channel. It might matter. It might matter. Okay.
Love it.
Thank you guys for hanging with us today.
Yep.
We are pretty stoked to bring you all the things one wheel that we can find. If there's some things that we're not aware of that we're not talking about, because I know there's other parties besides. Oh, we got. Oh man, who makes these? They make it. Electric City, I think it is. Let me look them up on Instagram. We have some. Have you seen the bonk? I'm not going to call them rocks, but maybe that's what they are.
I remember seeing that.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's Electric Stoke.
Nice.
They make the they're the bonk. Why can't I think of somebody online's got to help me? They're this week's score gems and humps, bonk, blocks. You're not gonna be able to see, but that's them right there. Anyways, we have those come to review. We're pretty stoked on that. I want those. I think those are going to be so much fun to put. That's one of the features we're going to add into the trails is a whole bonk section where you have to get through bonking all the way through. It'll be awesome. Lily, what's the difference between a bonk and a bolly?
I don't even know what the second thing is that you said.
Bolly?
Bolly?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
What do you think it is? What's a bonk? Let's start with a bonk.
Bonk is like a small drop.
No.
Oh.
They're saying
Holly, would you like to take a
Bonk
stab
is
at
like
it? What is a
curb
bonk?
nudge.
Did you cheat and read it in the comments?
No, but they're calling it pocket rocks.
Pocket rocks. That might be it. That might be
it.
right.
I kind of thought they were the same thing. Whichever,
But what is a bonk?
Well, it's like when you bonk up on a rock and then over.
Oh yeah.
But get air. You're not
Yeah,
riding
well-
over it. You're using it to.
Well, meaning like that object. A lot of people do it over like the parking blocks. You know, like you come
You
up
would say
and you gotta
that's-
get up.
you
so
gotta
you gotta
bonk
kind
the
of bonk
parking
your
lot?
yep, and then over.
Lil,
I can do it.
The mom of 8. She's playing hardball with you.
She knows her stuff. Seriously.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah, I'm saying you got to do some homework.
Do
You
you
know
know
how it is
why?
though. You know, do I know why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's a fan of you.
Woo! Yeah, she'll sit there with me and watch these videos. That's the
do.
truth of it.
I know.
She
Oh my
sits there.
gosh. You are amazing, Holly.
Yeah. Goals.
Yay!
That's
Go,
a
Holly.
doorbell.
Yeah, but
Like,
whatever.
straight
You
doorbell.
doorbelled her.
Good job, Holly.
Like doorbell.
This is what happened.
What's behind door number 3?
This is what happened. You rang the doorbell and she said, okay. Or no, wait. And she answered. That was so dumb.
How is it that whole time that video is on me watching you
I
do
know,
that?
I'm
And
not
that
really
or switch
sure.
over their icons, not put it on there.
Engaged in the
Yeah,
conversation.
they get lost in the shenanigans around here, so then they forget to hit the buttons. Good thing this is a podcast where you can just listen and enjoy all things one wheel and in between life stuff. Like we like talking about topics to make you better and make you laugh and escape from life and all those things. One trying to bring up 2020 because I know for so many of us when we hear 2020, it's like, ew, it should be like the year you don't mention anymore, like in Harry Potter where you can't say that one guy's name.
Yeah.
Don't
do it.
I read something funny today that
Like funny, like we're all gonna laugh or
like March of 2020, you weren't allowed to travel. Nobody could go anywhere, right? March of 2022, you can't afford because gas prices are so high. So you don't travel.
we don't talk about gas price here because we ride one wheels, folks.
That's right.
We ride one wheels so that we don't have to pay for gas. Let's go. It's life
Hey,
is better.
Crispy tells us that the bonking definition, you bounce the tire off something to get air.
Boom. Okay, so then what is a bolly, Lily?
I don't know what a bolly is.
Take a guess.
You bonk without getting air. You nudge it. I don't know.
I think it's one and the same.
Holly, you're saying
Everyone's saying it's the same.
Holly, you're saying
in
it's
the
the
chat.
same.
Yeah.
You're going with the chat.
Oh, I was trying to catch up, but I just think it is.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're
Bonk,
gonna
bolly,
film
whatever
this
you call it.
when we get these bonk rocks. What they call them?
Pocket rock.
Pocket rocks. When we get them, we're gonna get Bodhi to teach us, and he'll give us the lowdown because the dude is like
He
the
can do
sensei.
any trick.
Yeah, he makes up tricks while he sleeps. Okay, so we'll get Bodhi in to teach us, and he'll know what to call it. Okay, guys, we're gonna pick 2 winners for the said one wheel or one pack. These are not ours. We did not create these. They were sent to us to review. They are great bags. The only disclaimer is one of them, Lily, in the review, she broke it because she works out in CrossFit, and she gave a little bit oomph to the bag. Remember that, Lil?
I think it's fixable though.
It totally is. It's not unusable.
You can go check out that
We're
review.
both looking at our bag to see if we have the broken one.
I have the broken one.
Okay, she has a broken one. She just broke one of the plastic pieces, so it's when you receive it, maybe she'll just autograph it for you as well.
What? No.
Yeah, she's gonna autograph it in some kind of Sharpie. We'll both autograph the back of them with a note. It says something awesome, and then we'll be like, Lily broke this one. Okay, so this way you're getting. They are really, really cool. If you're a rider that likes to ride in the city and then put it on and go grocery shopping, awesome to just sling on your back if you don't want to put it in your shopping cart. They're really handy. So Lily does the picking, but since we have 2 today, we will let Lily pick one, and then Holly will pick one. This is how we do it. They just, on their iPads, they scroll through the chat. They stop it wherever their finger lands. You're the winner, folks. And so let's let Holly go first, but you got to do the flicking on camera. She's over there flicking her chat. Here it is. Give it a good flick. You got to stop
It's
it.
going. I have
The winner is
Oxidado.
boom,
right?
boom, boom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's yours.
All right. If you win, you need to DM us to claim your prize, okay?
It's that simple. DM Lily and Scott.
I'll put
Okay.
on Instagram.
On Instagram. IG. All right, hit it, Lil. Scroll. Scroll. Her eyes are closed. And if it's
Michael Conger. You win.
you win. You guys get
Yay.
these by DMing us with your address, and we will ship them out to you within 2 weeks. I think that's the way we work around here. About
That's the
2
way
weeks.
we work, yep.
We kind of stack up the giveaways, and then we mail them out. And so it's our privilege to do a little spring cleaning of our own around here and send these out. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We will see you next week as we will cover the new updates with GT. We will cover the shipping dilemmas and delays and all those things. We will also bring to you some new products that we'll be reviewing in the near future. They will be sitting on our desk, and we'll be excited to talk about them and all those things. Look out for the tire review for the Flight Fins Hoosier Wide tire. That's happening soon. Don't miss our Nerf pump track video this week. We're going to teach you how to build your own pump track in your backyard to enjoy riding what will give you the sensation of if you've ever surfed or skimboarded, where you're just dropping into waves. And so we'll be really excited to do that with you guys. If you're still hanging to this point and you haven't subscribed, come on, subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. You're on YouTube. You're supposed to subscribe already. And then drop a comment down below. Turn on the bell notification only if you want to. You don't have to, but enjoy life and answer this question. What does love require you to do? Because it requires us to do something all the time. It's an action item, something good and kind for other people, to put other people first. Life, it can be summed up like this. Is it a race? It is a race to be second, not first. If you do that well, your life will be awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that's my face.